Hey folks, Garrett Fisher here. I need to tell you about this absolutely mind-blowing podcast, Acting President, that's been keeping me up at night. It's about James Bennett, a former governor starring in a hit Sunday night TV show about overthrowing the government, and then his actual former chief of staff approaches him to do it for real. The line between fiction and reality completely disappears when these course correction rallies start popping up everywhere. Is it brilliant marketing or something more sinister? The parallels are insane. Trust me, this is the political thriller you didn't know you needed in your life. Acting President, available now wherever you find podcasts.
Feeling overwhelmed by negative news? 5 Good News Stories is your daily dose of what's going right in the world. Like the 103-year-old granny who got caught speeding in her sports car because she was living life to the fullest, or the family who found their missing cat after 3 years when it showed up at their vacation rental. Remember Flop the penguin's incredible comeback after his injury? And that guy who broke the world record for most high fives in 24 hours while raising money for charity? These are the stories that remind us the world is still full of wonder and joy. 5 Good News Stories. Pure positivity 3 times a week. 5 Good News Stories, available wherever you get your podcasts. 5 Good News Stories.
Caloroga Shark Media.
The Athletic reported on Chicago sports fan Jose Guzman, who stopped at Grandstand Sports seeking a special White Sox jersey, one bearing number 14 and the name of Robert Prevost, better known as Pope Leo XIV. The 36-year-old already owns several Sox jerseys, but wanted to commemorate the new pontiff who grew up nearby in Dalton, attended St. Mary's of the Assumption, and taught at St. Rita High School. Guzman's aunt had met the future pope, and he'd seen him around their church. This is white smoke. Pope Leo represents a historic first, America's inaugural pope and presumably the first pontiff to support the White Sox. Josh Ganal, co-owner of Grandstand Sports, retrieved a custom Pope Leo jersey in home white with pinstripes, priced around $220. White Sox merchandise hasn't been popular lately, but Pope Leo jerseys are surprisingly outselling current players. I think Pope Leo is probably overselling ball players in the last 2 years, said Stephanie Ganal, who runs the store her parents opened in 1989. The shop has sold several hundred Pope Leo jerseys through retail and online sales. Following the papal election announcement, Chicago erupted with excitement. The Ganals didn't need confirmation of the Pope's Sox fandom from family members. Neighborhood customers immediately shared the news about their local connection. Josh began producing custom jerseys, using their equipment for pressing numbers and names. The business decision proved inspired when a local news segment featuring Josh with a Pope Leo jersey went national. By Saturday morning, customers lined up before the 10 o'clock opening time. Orders now arrive from across the country and internationally, including shipments to Las Vegas, California, New York, South Korea, and inquiries from Italy. Even grandparents want jerseys to wear to Sunday Mass. The official team store at Rate Field has made approximately 10 jerseys during recent home games, showing significant interest despite the team's cautious approach to avoid appearing disrespectful. The Cubs mistakenly announced the new pope as their fan based on incorrect reporting, but after the truth emerged, the Sox playfully corrected them. The team honored Pope Leo with a pre-game video, but maintains respectful restraint. White Sox officials are discussing creative possibilities with the Chicago Archdiocese. Brooks Boyer, Senior Vice President of Revenue and Marketing, compared this moment to Barack Obama's presidential campaign in 2008, when the Hyde Park residents' Sox fandom boosted merchandise sales. Pope Leo attended the 2005 World Series while working for the Augustinian Order. Investigators found him in game footage, appearing nervous as closer Bobby Jenks secured victory against the Astros. A published photograph from the Sun-Times helped confirm his presence at that pivotal franchise moment. In other papal news, NFL brothers Travis and Jason Kelce discussed Pope Leo XIV's historic election during their latest New Heights podcast episode, though their conversation raised concerns among Catholic listeners. The newly elected pontiff, who made history as the first American pope, prompted Travis to wonder how a young lad from the streets from Chicago reached such a position. Jason noted the commitment required for papal duties, particularly the vow of celibacy that's central to Catholic priesthood. "That's a big rule. That's a big one," he observed. Travis responded by referencing the Pope's Chicago origins and the discipline required to maintain such devotion in an urban environment. Jason agreed, emphasizing the level of conviction and focus required for such a path. Travis previously expressed regret about an Easter tweet from 2010 during his college years at Cincinnati that some found inappropriate. "We won't repeat it," but Travis said, "So ridiculous," particularly noting his casual tone at the time. The brothers' papal commentary follows recent criticism of President Trump for posting an artificial intelligence-generated image of himself as Pope on social media. The image was also shared by official White House accounts, though some Catholic groups found it inappropriate and unfunny.
You can get this podcast completely ad-free right now. If you're on Apple, just click the banner that says Uninterrupted Listening, and you'll get your first month free. If you use Spotify or other podcast players, go to caloroga.com/plus. It's just $5 a month, and you'll get access to over 20 premium shows with no interruptions. Binge listen to new series like the political thriller Acting President, Signal Lost, where military secrets land on the wrong phone, and Pager Protocol, the thriller about exploding pagers in the wrong hands. Plus, enjoy daily shows like Palace Intrigue about the royal family, daily comedy news, and 5 daily trivia questions to test your knowledge, and White Smoke, taking you behind the scenes at what's happening right now at the Vatican. You also get all our hot shows like 5 Good News Stories. Enjoy your favorite content without any ad breaks. Remember, Apple users click the Uninterrupted Listening banner for your free first month, and everyone else head to caloroga.com/plus. Get ad-free listening today.
Pope Leo met with the leader of Opus Dei to talk about updating their rules and structure. These updates were supposed to happen after Pope Francis made some changes to how Opus Dei operates, but they got delayed when Pope Francis died on April 21st. During the brief friendly meeting, Pope Leo gave his blessing and showed support for Opus Dei. He asked about the progress on updating their rules and listened carefully to their explanations. Before he died, Pope Francis had decided that Opus Dei should be overseen by a different Vatican department, one that handles regular priests instead of bishops. He also said the head of Opus Dei wouldn't automatically become a bishop anymore. Opus Dei was planning to update their official rules to match these changes at a big meeting they hold every 8 years. But after Pope Francis passed away, they had to postpone the rule changes and just focused on electing new leadership instead. Now Pope Leo is picking up where Pope Francis left off, discussing how to move forward with these updates. The Washington Post reported Pope Leo is facing questions about how he'll handle the Catholic Church's sexual abuse scandal as the new pope. The main concerns come from 2 past cases when he was known as Father Robert Prevost. Case 1 is from Chicago in the early 2000s. Survivor groups say he allowed a priest accused of abuse by 13 people to live in a religious house near an elementary school without telling the school or neighbors. The second case, from Peru in 2023, involves 3 sisters who say he didn't properly investigate their claims that 2 priests abused them when they were children years earlier. Survivor groups are disappointed that someone with these cases in his background became pope. However, many others defend him, observing, "The abuse didn't happen while he was directly supervising these priests. He followed proper church procedures at the time, and he helped shut down an abusive religious group in Peru." Pope Leo hasn't made any public statements about the abuse crisis yet, but people who know him say he has the skills and experience to handle it well. Some experts believe he could make the church more transparent about abuse cases.
There's always something brewing behind palace walls, whether it's Prince Harry and Meghan Markle making headlines from afar, or Prince William and Princess Catherine quietly preparing for the future throne. I'm Mark Francis, and on Palace Intrigue, we cover every twist, turn, whisper and wink. From royal drama to daily gossip, follow Palace Intrigue wherever you get your podcasts.
In Washington, D.C., power flows through information. But what happens when the most sensitive military intelligence in the world ends up on the wrong phone? In the halls of power, a national security advisor makes a fatal miscalculation. On the other side of the world, a special forces team walks into a perfectly orchestrated trap. When the dust settles, 4 American soldiers are dead, 3 more captured. And the most catastrophic intelligence breach in modern history is just beginning to unravel. Signal Lost, a 6-part podcast thriller about betrayal, courage, and the devastating consequences of a world where even our most guarded communications are never truly secure. When everyone is listening, nowhere is safe. Signal Lost. Available wherever you get your podcasts.